Hey everyone, I know it's been a long time since I've posted a video, so I was just thinking whilst I was sitting here on my back porch, having a coffee, putting off going back into the garden, not because I don't want to be there, just because I'm tired. But anyway, this is the view from my back porch, which is pretty epic. I know that you can't really see the mountains in the distance, but it's lovely. Anywho, I am going to take you on a little adventure to show you where everything's at the moment. So, up the side here, we have the tent, which I haven't taken down and has now become my craft centre. But I'm going to move quickly. Up here, we have the passion fruit that didn't take off, that has whatever it was rooted to is there, and I need to find that out. The beautiful rose, which I had intended on having as a cover, is working, which is really, really good, and it's filling up that space rather than being kind of like a sprawly thing, which I don't know if you guys ever saw that. Probably not. Mint is taking off in the front there. I did transplant a lilac, which hasn't died, which is great. That's still, in fact, the front is still kind of, generally speaking, a work in progress on the whole. You don't want to see a dog poo. Okay, down here. So, I originally used to have to mow all along here and all the way in this section down here. And I converted it all through cardboard, as you guys can see here, into garden. And I've just recently been putting fresh cardboard down and covering it over, and I've started pruning back all of those roses. I'm going to do the same thing with those roses as I did up the front there. And I know that there's a lot of weeds, but it actually was really effective. And unfortunately, I didn't do this when all my flowers were blooming. That's kind of the last of my zinnias, but I had beautiful echinacea in here. I had calendulas, the pumpkins going nuts, comfrey, which means you can make comfrey tea, and it's really, really good for the chickens to help them regrow. This is a buddleia that I planted when we first moved in. B and I planted, and it is growing up really nicely. And I think I might get some more because it just works so well as a hedging plant. The centre's looking pretty sad, I gotta say. This is usually where all of my beautiful flowers are, and I don't know, but this particular year, I think it's because the soil itself is in need of some love, and I really didn't do a lot, so I think I possibly, but things have survived. There's stuff like this one in here is, I don't know what it's called, but it's a Biden. It has survived. Like, things have survived and things have self-seeded and come back, so it'll be fine. This has taken off. This is like meant to be an anti-mozzie kind of plant thing, which smells kind of like sort of citronella, and it'll die in the frost, but it is surviving, so that's good. I finally got that under control, which doesn't look like it right now, but trust me, and I don't think, maybe you could see it right at the start of the video, basically the whole thing was covered all the way over the fig tree, which is behind that shed, and up into that crappy tree at the back there, which I still have to take down. So, and I uncovered it, like you can actually see in here, like sun gets through, see? And it never used to. It's actually kind of pretty here now. It's got sort of like this mystical, sort of partially grown, and I know it looks like crap, so it's only in my head that I can see it, but I vines and stuff. But anyway, I finally got it under control, and I took out all of the dead stuff that's up there, which means that I should be able to train. Now, I don't know much about wisteria. That's the only thing that's sort of been taking off. The rose did come back, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with this space, to be honest. Like, if anyone's got some suggestions. My lemon did really well. We got a couple of apple trees. Gabriel gave Tobias an apple tree, and it's fruiting. See? It's fruiting. We've got apples, and then, but apparently you needed a second apple tree, so I bought this one, but I bought it sort of as it was flowering, so I didn't get to pot it up, so I have to pot it up into something like this in order to make it do well. And then Gabe and Eloise gave us a mandarin, so I'm looking forward to that, and I did up-pot that into this one. And then this is my sort of, I've started mosaicing, right, and I love it. and I'm at various stages of development in this. The idea is for there to be like a completely mosaic path. Now, unfortunately, I can't spend as much time on this as I would like to, because the garden just takes up, and the housework and the cooking and the looking after Bea and everything just takes so much time. So this is the vision, to have stepping stones and obviously we've got the pebbles and everything here too. Tomatoes all in here. It was full. I actually just pruned it, so it's not looking as terrible as it did before I pruned it. But the beautiful, I got salsa and tomato sauce. Thank you, Casey, for that recipe again. So yeah, salsa, tomato sauce. I have like frozen a whole bunch of chopped tomatoes for like, bolognese, etc. I made semi-dried tomatoes. So, but like I freeze-dried some so that I can make like a pesto sort of thing with it. And then I did it in oil, like other ones to use for other things, like when you're having dips and whatever, which is great. But I still need more tomatoes because I'd want to do more. I'd want to be able to do enough tomatoes in all of those things to get us through a year where I wouldn't have to buy more. So the first goal was to have enough that I wouldn't have to get tomato sauce, like purchase tomato sauce throughout the year, as in like tomato sauce that you put on pies and so forth. And I've succeeded with that, okay? But then to do the rest with like salsa and all the rest would be awesome. Anyhow, back to the garden. As you can see, the grape, which was just, I thought that I'd killed a few years ago, has just come back with a vengeance. The grapes themselves, I'm still struggling a little. And once again, I don't know much about grapes. So if anyone has any, I think my mother-in-law says that they're meant to be brown grapes, red grapes. And I don't know at what point they go red. So I don't know whether I'm I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but as you can see, it's actually doing a lot better. Once again, Alex's crappy version of an archway, look at that, it's an M. It didn't work, but nonetheless, I am learning. And as we progress down here, we meet the pumpkin patch. So what happened here, obviously it's at the very end, and I've got some sun-damaged pumpkins in there, and a rotten one right there, which is fun. But what I did is, when I turned over this bay, I'd turned that one into the centre and that one into the centre, and unfortunately, I haven't got very good compost. But as I was turning this one over, what I discovered at the bottom was one of the pumpkin seeds had it was just full of worms. So I threw it into here, and pumpkins, they just will go everywhere. Obviously, this is not a pretty time to be looking at it, but you can imagine what it was. And I got a sunflower in amongst there. Once again, I probably should have thrown more. I did it too late. What did I do too late? I planted corn and sunflower seeds because apparently you do them at the same time as pumpkin, and they're all meant to help each other. The pumpkin plant will actually shade the garden. Anyway, I did it too late, so whatever. Zucchini, capsicum. This capsicum, I'm actually surprised that it survived. I don't know whether it will go red. I don't know if we're going to have enough sun left, but that's okay. I'll have green capsicum. I put so much more in because last year we had so much success with them, but I've been having an animal get in and dig it up. At first I was blaming the dogs, but I actually think it's something else, like a possum. The green beans. So I was going to attempt up this walkway here, doing multiple archways. And they've had I've had mixed success. I have so many green beans. This is just, it's insane. Look, they keep growing, and I just can't eat them all. Anyhow, it's been successful, except for the fact that I don't really know how to make sure that all of the green beans are coming in this way, because then I have to reach around this way and grab them from this side, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. Anyhow, new crops in here, beetroot, lettuce, spinach, carrot, and then here I have cucumber as you can see, another one. Yum. Oh, that's looking real good. So cucumber, and I've had so many cucumber. I can't do that one-handed. I've had so much cucumber come through, and I've got some bok choy growing in amongst in the shade there. Cucumber there as well. So we've had so much cucumber, it's been great. And the strawberry patch has gone bananas. In fact, we have tendrils going off the side, and I've put pots on the side to sort of root new strawberry plants, because you can never have enough strawberry plants, in my opinion. And through here, I set up a sort of a watering system. It's pretty shitty, but you know, and so there and there. And the plan is to go, originally I thought maybe along this fence here. However, it doesn't actually get the sun. So, I don't know, I'm having mixed thoughts. So, this is something to put it out to all of you, and maybe you guys can think for me. But you know, how I've made the zombie apocalypse fence. The fence along there, right? With all that metal. It's ugly and it's awful. And aside from my greenhouse, which has been super successful, I want to do something with it. I would like some suggestions. I have thought about making kind of like a, like using pallets and making a garden at the bottom, which I can grow things in, and then like wood going up, and then having kind of something at the top, which is essentially like the fence that adds fence, without having, because the metal fence, which is the originally there, you can't actually attach to it. Maybe if I could weld, I could, but I can't. And so I have to make something freestanding that I can kind of put against it, and it has to be solid because we get really high winds. So if anyone's got some suggestions, I did buy clumping bamboo, which clumps, and I can put it in a pot. But yeah, I don't know. I need ideas. And I don't know, if somebody knows of really good instructions for something, then please do send that through to me, because I look for it, but I need it to be like, you know, how to build a raised garden bed, plant a screen thing for dummies. That's the sort of guide I need. Either that, or I need people to come visit and like help me make them. That would be cool. What I am going to do is I'm going to gather everything that I could possibly think that's around the property, like pieces of wood and tin and wire and whatever, and I'm going to gather it all, and then I'm going to look at it and go, can I make something from this? Because I did kind of make some sort of structure on the side there that is freestanding, that works quite well actually, but that's sort of the next plan. Anywho, love you all, and I have more garden that I didn't show you, like that is in development, but it's you know, it's basically just bricks and it'll come. But yeah, everything's flourishing and I'm really quite warm. So anyway, I'll see you guys soon. I'm coming back for Easter. Ciao.